Hi guys, my name is Tiana. I work here in the Children's Zoo at the Houston Zoo. And this here is our friend Sydney. Sydney is a Kookaburra. She is a member of the Kingfisher family, and you can find these guys in Australia. The Kingfisher family are known to hunt in the water. Miss Sydney here will also eat small insects and small vertebrae. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how great Sydney can fly. Sydney, perch. Good girl. Sydney, perch.
Good girl. Good job. So another great thing that Sydney here can do, can you turn? Is she is also known as the laughing kookaburra. So she also can laugh on cue. So let's see if we can get her to do that right now. Ready, Sydney? Good girl. So this is what the laughing kookaburra is really known for, is that laughing noise. And they do it very, very loudly in the bush of Australia. And they're also called the Bushman's clock because of that. They wake those bushmen up really early in the morning, just like a rooster would. Sydney, can you turn around? Good. So now I'm going to send her back to Tiana, and we'll see how great she flies in the swap shop here.
Sydney, perch. Sydney. Good girl. Perch. Good girl. Sydney. Good.
Ooh, she's doing so well. Sydney, you perch? Sydney. She's looking at something else. Perch. Here. How about here? Sydney. You're so interested in everything else.
So some fun things about Sydney. Sydney is 8 years old. These guys can live up to 20 in captivity, about 15 in the wild. So she's about mid-age. Sydney here also weighs less than a pound. So even though she looks pretty big, she's actually quite small.
And she loves mealworms, so that's what we're using today for her training. She's really, really smart, as you can see. She found a mealworm on the ground just now. And we just recently started training with Sydney free flight. This is one of her first debuts as a free flighted animal. She's been in the swap shop here before.
Good.
But she is very new to the free flight world. You want to come over here?
So Sydney here at the Children's Zoo, she lives in the back of the House of Children's Zoo, so you can't see her.
Good.
She will be coming out for some special events once she's fully free flight trained. Her wild counterparts, like Lisa said, live in Australia, so these guys are all over Australia, and you can find them in many places.
Good.
Sydney's quite vocal. You can hear her kind of chattering. She's a really quirky bird, and she's got a lot of personality.
Good. Oof. She's also very hungry. All right. And now we're going to send her back to Tiana one more time.
Sydney. Good girl.
Going to send her home?
Yep, and right now we're going to send her home. So this is her kennel behavior. This is how she gets from and to her enclosure. Sydney, perch. She really loves it out here, so sometimes she's not too eager to go back to her kennel. Sydney, perch. What she's eating right now is some small, they're called rat pinks. Those are her favorite, along with mealworms. Sydney, perch.
She wants to stay out and see you guys.
Perch. Good girl. You get that? You go in your kennel? Good girl.
Nice. Come on. Good job.
So thank you for watching our Kookaburra Sydney do a little bit of free flight. That was the first time anybody's ever seen that, so you guys got a first glance experience. We're going to bring out our second animal, Mr. Devo.
Yep, he's ready. He's ready for his debut. So this guy is a black-throated monitor. He is in the varanid family, so he is closely related to Komodo dragons. You can kind of see that when he's walking around here, and he has the same kind of body type as a Komodo dragon would, except he is from Africa rather than Indonesia. So right now we are going to try to get him to walk around in front of you guys. He's a very smart lizard. Hey, can you target? And when he wants to train, he'll follow this with the end of his nose. Hey, bud, target. But otherwise, he likes to do his own thing. Hi, buddy. You're all right. Ooh. As you can see, he's quite heavy. Adult males can get up to about 60 pounds in size, and they can get as long as about 6 or 7 feet. He is 5.5 years old, and he turned 5 in May of this year. So you can also tell that he's got some growing to do. They'll get to be about 10 to 12 years old. In captivity, they can probably reach about 20 or so. Larger lizards have longer lifespans than most. And when you look at him pretty closely, you can see that he has this nice dappled color that helps him blend in, just like camouflage. And like I said, he loves to do what he wants to. So he is trying to find a little dark place in here. He probably is smelling some really good things. That is what he's doing with his tongue right now, is he's smelling. And he's taking that scent up into what we call a Jacobson's organ or a vomeronasal organ. Snakes have a similar organ. And so he's hissing right now. What are you looking at? So he probably saw something that he didn't love. But overall, he's a very friendly lizard here at the zoo. He's a great ambassador to his species in the wild. And he loves to climb, he loves to swim. He has a pool in his exhibit that he likes to sit in occasionally. More often than not, you'll see him basking in the sun and kind of soaking it up. They really like warm temperatures. So he'll be chilling out there. So at the zoo, y'all actually can't see him on exhibit. He is an ambassador animal. However, on exhibit, we do have a crocodile monitor and a Komodo dragon that look very similar to him at the reptile house. So, and it's really cool that they are housed side by side, the Komodo dragon and the crocodile monitor, because those are the 2 largest lizards on Earth, which is very, very cool. So he's probably the 4th largest species of lizard. Hi, buddy. So Dominic asked, what is their status in the wild? That's a great question. They are doing very well. So they are least concerned. And they're doing really well in Africa. They live in southeastern Africa in Tanzania. And they live in all sorts of different habitats. So the coolest thing about them, I think, is the females will, when they go to lay their eggs, they'll go and they'll find a termite mound, and they'll lay their eggs in a termite mound because it has the proper humidity for those eggs to thrive and incubate. So the female will dig that hole, she'll lay her eggs, and the termites will actually form again around those eggs and that nest, and keep it really nice temperature-wise for them. And y'all probably are wondering why his name is Devo. So when he was younger, he was a little bit, kind of like scared of this big world because tiny lizards, a lot of things go after them. So what he was trying to do when he was little was whip his tail at us, just because he was very unsure of what our intentions were. But he calmed down after a while. But when he was very, very young, that's the first thing he would do when you walked into his exhibit, is whip his tail at you. And the reason they do that is that's actually their first line of defense against larger predators. They want to keep that predator as far away from them as possible. So you might think, well, why doesn't he use his claws or his mouth or something like that? It's actually the easiest to run away from a large predator and stay away from it. Gail asks, what is his favorite food? His favorite food is anything that is meat related. So I would say one of his favorites is the canine meat that we give him, but I also have a little bit of a treat for him right now. I don't think he'll do anything for it, but let's see if he'll eat this or find it. He found it. So that's a capelin. He loves fish, eggs, different varieties of fish like trout, herring. That's a capelin. Anything that they can find and eat. So he also likes chicks, rats, mice, stuff like that. And I also have some snails here in my pouch. When he was younger, it was a lot of invertebrates, because that's kind of the size of his mouth. As you can see, it's pretty slippery fish. And so when a monitor finds something to eat, he has to kind of run after it and pin it down. And then usually if it's a small mammal or a fish like that, they swallow it whole. So the only time they ever tear something up is if it's a very large food item. And they're typically pretty solitary animals. They'll just kind of run around and hunt lots of stuff. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. So join us next Wednesday at 11 a.m. So thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time.